Okay guys, so this is a crash course. Ini adalah crash course. Ini maksudnya, ini kita akan belajar secara ringkas. Memang belajar semua. I'm going to teach you everything. But secara ringkas. Please keep that in mind. Okay? Now, come. Bab 5 ini antara bab yang selalu keluar. Especially baru-baru ini. The latest one. Tahun lepas lah. Trend dia ialah, dia akan keluar dalam kertas 2. It comes out in your paper 2. It's very popular. Cikgu ada bagi soalan percubaan kan? I gave you all the 2025 trial questions. Nanti kita akan tengoklah soalan-soalan dia. Okay, we'll try to do as many as we can. Sebanyak yang kita boleh, kita akan buat. Alright? Okay, come. So first, bab 5 ialah electronics. Okay, electronic. So, in this one, ada dua definisi yang dia selalu tanya dalam peperiksaan. In exam, there's two definitions that they always ask. Okay, so we have these two. Term ionic emission, pancaran term ion, sangat-sangat popular. Sangat-sangat popular dalam peperiksaan. Okay, so what is term ionic emission? Apakah itu pancaran term ion? Nanti kita akan lihat daripada uh, sinilah. Nanti kita akan lihat daripada rajah ini. Tapi tulis dulu. Let's write first. Now, term ionic emission. Pancaran term ion ini merujuk kepada, it is an emission of free electrons. Pancaran elektron bebas. Pancaran elektron bebas. So, kenapa cikgu bagi awak tulis? Why? Cikgu punya nota semua macam ni. My notes are all blank, Okay. Cikgu selalu suruh pelajar tulis because you will remember better. Bila awak tulis itu, awak akan ingat dengan lebih baik. Lebih senang untuk ingat. Right? Okay. So, emission of free electrons from where? From a heated metal surface. That's all. Daripada permukaan logam yang dipanaskan. Macam tu saja. Itulah definisi dia. That is the definition. Okay, emission of free electrons. Pancaran elektron bebas daripada permukaan logam yang dipanaskan. Okay, mari kita belajar sekarang. Macam mana ini berlaku? How does this happen? Okay, everybody okay? Alright, so bagaimana ini berlaku? Let's look at the picture down here. So di sini, nampak tak ada dua litar? Can you see actually there's two circuits? Okay, ada satu litar dengan di sini. Look at this. Tengok bekalan kuasa 6 volt ini. 6 volt power supply. Can you see there's a circuit here? So litar ini dari sini sampai sini. Then it involves the tungsten filament. Filament tungsten. And then balik sini. So ini satu litar. This is 1 litar. Okay. And then lepas tu ada satu lagi litar. Can you see there is another circuit? Okay. Mana litar itu? Here. You see the extra high voltage power supply? Ini adalah bekalan voltan lampau tinggi. Okey, bekalan voltan lampau tinggi ialah bekalan kuasa yang sangat tinggi, voltan dia ialah very high voltage. Right? So this is another circuit. Nampak tak? Can you see? There's another circuit here. So ada dua litar yang berlainan. There are two different circuits. First thing. Everybody clear? Okay. So the first circuit, litar yang pertama, kita tengok yang 6 volt. Look at the 6 volt power supply. Apakah tugas dia? Apabila litar ini dihidupkan, when the 6 volt power supply is turned on, what will happen? Filament tungsten ini akan dipanaskan. The tungsten filament will heat up. Right? Now, biasanya kalau kita hidupkan switch yang ada tungsten, akan ada apa? Normally, if you heat up a switch that involves a tungsten filament, what will happen? Apa yang akan berlaku? Biasanya kita nampak tungsten filament ini di mana? Where do you normally see the tungsten filament? Where? Mana kita boleh jumpa dia? Ya, light bulbs, isn't it? Yes, mentol, betul. So, di sini pun, filament ini, bila kita hidupkan switch ini, when you turn on the switch for this circuit, litar ini, dan arus mengalir di sini, when current flows here, there will be light. Okay, memang akan ada cahaya. But more importantly, di sini dia akan jadi panas. It will become hot. Okay. Pancaran term ion ialah term ionic emission. Okay, mari kita huraikan di bawah. Okay, we describe at the bottom here. So how does it happen? Macam mana ini berlaku? So when the 6 volt power supply is turned on, number one, tungsten filament heats up. Haba ini sangat penting. The heat is very important. Filament tungsten akan menjadi panas. Now, apabila dia panas, panas itu maksudnya ada tenaga haba. That's heat energy, right? Tenaga haba ini, okay. So, tenaga haba ini akan dipindahkan kepada plate logam. It will be transferred to the metal plate. Okay, tulis dulu, right first. Look back at the diagram. Cuba kenal pasti mana plate logam, apa yang dia merujuk kepada apa. What is it referring to? Can you see directly beside the filament? Di tepi filament ini nampak tak ada satu plate? Can you see there's a plate here? Okay, so sumber haba adalah tungsten, the filament lah. Filament itu adalah sumber haba dia. That is the source of the heat. But haba ini akan dipindahkan kepada, the heat will be transferred to this plate. Okay, plate ini akan jadi panas. Can follow? Right? Okay. Jadi apa yang berlaku dalam plate? Now, the electrons, term ion, nanti cikgu terangkan. So, the electrons on the metal surface will gain kinetic energy. Elektron-elektron pada permukaan logam mempunyai tenaga kinetik yang lebih tinggi. Okay, kelas. Pada tahap ini awak mesti tahu hubungan dia. You need to know the relationship. Apakah hubungan antara tenaga kinetik dan haba? What is the relationship between heat energy and kinetic energy? Okay, this one. Okay, let me change the question. Uh, di sini, tenaga haba, okay, akan dipindahkan kepada, akan menjadikan dia panas. Suhu dia akan naik kan? Temperature will go up, isn't it? What is the relationship between temperature and kinetic energy? Apakah suhu, apakah hubungan antara suhu dan tenaga kinetik? You must know. Ini bukan intro. Ini memang seluruh bab 5. Yes, directly proportional. Very good. Berkara terus. Okay, berkara terus. Very good. Alright. So, apabila suhu naik, tenaga kinetik pun akan naik. When temperature goes up, kinetic energy will also go up. Okay? Alright. So, sebab itulah, apabila dia dipanaskan, when the metal plate up, then what happens? The electrons on the metal surface. Elektron pada permukaan logam. So, di sini istilah permukaan itu sangat penting. The term surface is very important. It's on the surface. Pada permukaan dia. Pada permukaan dia. Okay, can follow. Okay, what happens when it becomes hot? Apabila dia menjadi panas, apa akibat dia? So once it has enough kinetic energy, setelah dia mendapat tenaga kinetik yang cukup, dia akan, it will leave the metal. Elektron akan terpancar keluar. Now we have gone the full circle lah. Okay, dia akan terpancar keluar. So now you know why it's called term ionic emission. Sekarang kita faham kenapa dia pancaran term ion. So let me explain the whole thing again. Term ini, bila kita nampak term, where do we see term? Mana kita nampak term? Bila saja awak nampak perkataan term, ini berkaitan dengan, whenever you see the word term, it relates to this record. Later I explain. Nanti saya terangkan where the recording is going on. Yes, term ini actually dia berkaitan dengan haba lah. Heat, yes, very good. Okay. So, term ionic emission, pancaran. Apa yang kan? What is emitted? Dalam pancaran term ion, apa yang dipancarkan? In the term ionic emission, what is emitted? Pancaran dia ialah electron. Not photoelectron. Not photoelectron. That's a different story. Photoelectron is due to photoelectric effect. So memang dia selalu bandingkan dua ini. They always compare these two. Okay. Photoelectron is from photoelectric effect. Yang ini pancaran term ion is different. It's a different process. Okay. Again, listen very carefully. So what happens here again? Bila kita hidupkan bekalan kuasa 6 volt, when we turn on the 6 volt power supply, what will happen? Tungsten filament will heat up. Dia akan dipanaskan. Dia akan menjadi panas. Dan dia akan panaskan plat logam. It will heat up the metal plate. Okay. Apabila plat logam menjadi panas, apa yang berlaku ialah elektron-elektron pada permukaan dia, all the electrons on the surface of the metal plate, dia akan, tenaga kinetik dia bertambah. Kinetic energy will increase. Can follow? Apabila tenaga kinetik dia bertambah, once it's enough, setelah dia cukup, elektron ini akan dipancarkan. The electrons will leave the metal surface. Dia akan terpancar keluar. Yes. This is called term ionic emission. Sebab the electrons are emitted, pancaran elektron dipancarkan disebabkan oleh tenaga haba yang diterima because of the heat energy that is received. Do you understand? Faham tak? Okay? Can? Five. Yeah, this is five. Okay, so this is the first concept. Ini konsep yang pertama yang dia selalu tanya. Warna kuning ini adalah pancaran dia. The yellow color thing that I've drawn here is the emission. And then we come to the next part lah. So pancaran dia, yes, it's very similar in fact. It's very similar to quantum. Okay, memang dia ada, dia selalu buat perbandingan antara dua ni. Right? Okay, what is the use of the vacuum space? Very good question. So di sini, lepas elektron dipancarkan, after the electrons are emitted, that means selepas dia dibebaskan, dia dibebaskan di sini, once it is released, okay, dia akan berada di sini. It will just be here, near the surface lah. Dia dibebaskan saja kan? Right? No, 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 no. This one won't be on YouTube. This one won't be on YouTube. Okay, dia dibebaskan saja. But that's why sekarang kita ada lita yang kedua. We have the second circuit. Okay. Now let's look at the second circuit. Tengok lita yang kedua. Now lita yang kedua kita guna bekalan kuasa yang sangat tinggi. We use a very high voltage power supply. Extra high tension. Voltan lampau tinggi. VLT ini adalah untuk voltan lampau tinggi. Okay. Extra high tension. That means the voltage is very high. Dia akan berada dalam lingkungan ribu-ribu. It'll be in the thousands. 2000 volt, 3000 volt macam tu. Okay. So, ini untuk apa? What is the second circuit for? Lita kedua ini ialah, tengok sini So, sekarang, elektron semua sudah dibebaskan. Betul tak? Electrons are all released already, isn't it? Right? Yang bintik-bintik hitam ini ialah elektron. Okay. Elektron sudah dibebaskan kan? Tapi dia masih di sini. It's still here at the surface. Dekat permukaan. Okay. Tapi, di sini ada ruang. There's a gap here. There's a gap here. Dan di sini ada beza keupayaan. There's a potential difference applied here. Beza keupayaan di sini sama dengan bekalan kuasa. So, it'll be like 2K, 3K, okay, 3000 volt macam tu. Apakah fungsi dia? What is the function of the high voltage? What is the function of the high voltage? So, voltan yang tinggi ini berfungsi untuk menghasilkan, yes, very good. It actually, do you remember your chapter 3, bab 3? Okay. Kita ada dua plate ini, satu plate negatif, satu plate positif kan? One negative plate, one positive plate. Yes, very good, exactly. So it produces a very strong magnetic field. Dia menghasilkan medan, electric field. Dia menghasilkan medan elektrik yang sangat kuat di sini. So what will happen? What will happen? Elektron-elektron yang terbebas ini, the electrons that are just released, right? They are going to be attracted to, dia akan tertarik kepada terminal positif. Understand or not? Faham tak? So, lita yang pertama, the first one, 6 volt ini adalah untuk membebaskan elektron daripada permukaan logam, the plat logam, okay? To release the electrons from the surface of the metal plate. That's the first one. The small voltage. Lepas tu voltan yang tinggi, the very high voltage, ini adalah untuk menyebabkan elektron memecut ke plat ini. Ke plat yang ini. Do you understand? Faham tak? That's why kita perlukan voltan lampau tinggi. You need a very high voltage for that. Okay? Alright. So, wait ah. You don't understand. Okay, wait. Kita tulis yang ini dulu. So, apabila elektron, when the electrons that are released, when it accelerates, apabila dia memecut ke plate positive, right, disebabkan oleh voltan yang tinggi because of the high voltage. When it is accelerating, okay, what will happen? Dia akan membentuk satu sinar. It will form a ray. A ray of what? Dia akan membentuk satu sinar electron. It will form electron rays. Can? Okay? No. Any voltage supply must have two terminal. Mesti ada dua terminal, positive dan negative. So, nampak tak di sini? Ada dua dawai yang keluar dari sini. Can you see the two wires coming out here? Nampak tak? Can see not? See the bottom here. Tengok bahagian bawah ni. Dah. Yeah, okay. You see the bottom, there's two wires, right? So, mesti ada dawai yang bersambung dengan terminal negatif. There must be one connecting to positive terminal. Both must be there lah. Dua-dua pun mesti ada. Right? Okay, again, let me ringkaskan semua. Okay, secara keseluruhan. Overall, what happened there is, okay, come. Now, let me explain the vacuum. Again, first, ada dua litar yang berasingan. There are two separate circuits here. Okay, satu litar dibekalkan dengan one circuit is only supplied with 6 volt power supply. Bekalan kuasa 6 volt saja, which is this one. Okay, yang ini, litar yang ini dengan filament tungsten filament. Right? So, apabila litar ini dihidupkan, when the 6 volt power supply, that circuit is turned on, what happens is, it will be heated up. Dia akan dipanaskan, haba akan dipindahkan kepada plat logam ini. The heat will be transferred to this metal plate. Understand? Now, this metal plate will become hot. Dia akan jadi panas. When it become hot, right? When it becomes hot, cathode anode, wait, I explain in a while. Bila dia menjadi panas, elektron-elektron pada permukaan dia cukup tenaga untuk terlepas dari, dibebaskan daripada permukaan. To be released from the surface. Dia sudah cukup tenaga untuk dibebaskan daripada permukaan. Daripada tenaga haba. Faham tak? Understand or not? Okay? No, no. Wait, aku terangkan nanti. Okay not? Faham tak? Okay. So then, elektron semua sudah berkumpul, right? Tapi dia akan balik kepada logam kalau dia tak ada tempat untuk pergi. If there's nowhere for the electrons to go, it will just go back to the metal. Faham tak? Jadi, sekarang kita ada litar yang kedua. We have a second circuit here dengan voltan lampau tinggi. Extra high tension voltage. Very high power supply. So, di sini apa akan berlaku tahu? Here, there is a very high voltage here. Voltan yang sangat tinggi antara dua plate ini akan menghasilkan medan elektrik yang sangat kuat. Very strong electric field. Jadi, elektron akan tertarik ke terminal positif melalui vacuum, through the vacuum. Okay, ramai yang tanya, kenapa ada vacuum? Why got vacuum? Vacuum ini sebab kalau ada zarah udara di sini, you just imagine if there's air particles, right? Kalau ada zarah-zarah udara di sini, what will happen? Ini elektron saja tahu. These are just electrons, right? Very, very tiny particles. Zarah-zarah yang sangat kecil, sangat ringan. Kalau ada zarah udara di sini, dia takkan sampai ke terminal positif. Isn't it? It won't reach the positive terminal lah. Betul tak? Sebab dia akan berlanggar dengan zarah udara. Yes, it may cause ionization. Very good. Mungkin dia akan mengayon zarah-zarah udara di sini. If there's enough energy lah. Yes. So, dia takkan sampai ke terminal positif. That's why kita kena guna vacuum. That's why we have to use a vacuum here. Okay? So, apabila elektron Okay, apabila elektron ini memecut ke terminal positif and the electrons are accelerating to positive terminal, we will have an electron ray. Kita ada satu sinar elektron, nampak tak? A ray that is made up of electron. Satu sinar yang terdiri daripada elektron. Itulah bahagian kuning. That's the yellow part. Kan? So sinar elektron ini, this ray of electrons is what we call, apa yang kita panggil, apa yang kita kenali sebagai sinar cathode. It's called the cathode ray. Okay, let's write this first. Tulis dulu definisi dia. So what is a cathode ray actually? Apakah itu sinar cathode sebenarnya? Cathode ray, dah. Okay, cathode ray is a beam of electrons. Ini adalah alur elektron. Alur elektron yang berkelajuan tinggi. That's all. Yes, satu hala saja. Because pancaran bergantung kepada, it depends on, it is attracted to positive terminal. Betul tak? Right? Okay. Can Right? Okay. So, now, let's put the whole story together. So, kita sudah huraikan apa yang berlaku di sini. Apabila kita hidupkan lita dengan bekalan kuasa 6 volt lah. Okay. Now, let's explain the cathode ray formation. Penghasilan sinar cathode pula. So, macam mana sinar cathode terhasil? When the extra high tension power supply is turned on. Okay, sekarang kita kena hidupkan bekalan kuasa voltan lampau tinggi pula. So, when this is turned on, right, apa akan berlaku ialah electrons emitted will be attracted to the anode at high velocity. Right, elektron yang dipancarkan tadi akan tertarik kepada anode dengan halaju yang tinggi, pada halaju yang tinggi. I will explain anode and cathode in a while. Cikgu akan terangkan anode, cathode sekejap lagi. Okay, can. Okay, so then what will happen is a high velocity electron beam is formed. This is the cathode ray lah. Right? Alur elektron berkelajuan tinggi terbentuk. Itulah sinar cathode. That is the cathode ray. That is the cathode ray. EK change to EV, which one? EK yang mana? Oh, kinetic energy change to electric energy. Yes, very good. That's correct. Itu perhitungan dia nanti. That's the calculation later. That is correct. Very good. Tenaga kinetik akan berubah kepada tenaga elektrik. Ataupun terbaliklah sebenarnya. Tenaga elektrik akan berubah kepada tenaga kinetik. The electric potential energy will become the kinetic energy of the electron. Okay, sekarang cikgu terangkan apa itu anode cathode. Why anode cathode? Now, tengok di sini. Okay. Bila awak belajar dalam kimia, when you learn in chemistry, right? Apakah itu anode? What is an anode? So, I know you all will remember as, awak akan ingat sebagai terminal positif kan? Tapi cikgu selalu ajar pelajar saya, jangan ingat sebagai terminal positif. Don't remember as positive terminal. Right? Because sel kimia dengan sel electrolysis lain tau. Chemical cell and electrolytic cell. Voltaic cell, electrolytic cell is different, isn't it? Kan? Dia terbalik. But, awak boleh ingat macam ni. Anode sentiasa derma elektron. Tak kisah dia sel apa. Anode always donate. Okay? Asalkan dia anode, dia memang derma. You can remember like this. So nampak tak di sini, terminal mana yang derma elektron kepada litar? Who is donating the electron to the circuit? Okay. Elektron akan menghala ke terminal positif, betul tak? Electron will always head towards the positive terminal, right? So maksudnya elektron keluar dari plate ini. Electron is coming out of this plate, isn't it? So dia anode lah. Sebab plate ini menderma elektron kepada litar. Faham tak? Because it donates electron to the circuit. Okay. Kenapa pula ini cathode? Why is this cathode? Sebab elektron dia akan mengalir keluar dari terminal negatif. It goes out of the negative terminal. So dia masuk sini lah. It comes in here, isn't it? So maksudnya dia terima elektron daripada litar. It is receiving electron from the circuit. Okay. Faham tak? So sebab itulah ini cathode. That's why this is the cathode dan ini anode. Lepas tu, the electrons dia terpancar dari cathode, betul tak? The electrons are emitted from the cathode when they form the ray, bila dia membentuk sinar elektron. So that's why we call it cathode ray. Sebab dia keluar dari cathode. It comes out of the cathode. Jelas? Clear? Boleh? Any questions, class? So dalam peperiksaan nanti, in your exams, you please remember, sila ingat ini thermion emission, definisi dia, the definition, and also this one. Dua ini sangat-sangat popular dalam peperiksaan. Very, very popular in exam. Yang dipanaskan oleh VLT ialah, bukan VLT yang panaskan dia. Apa yang panaskan dia ialah ini. Filament tungsten. Di sebelah dia. The tungsten filament next to it is heating it up. Bukan VLT tau. VLT hanya untuk memecutkan elektron. The VLT, the extra high tension is only to accelerate the electron. Understand or not? Yes. Itulah matlamat kita. Our goal is to finish under 5.3. Boleh? Kan? Okay, good. So, sekarang, same thing here. Okay, nampak tak? We have the 6 volt power supply. Bekalan kuasa 6 volt. Di sini pula ada bekalan kuasa VLT. We have the extra high tension power supply here. Okay, same thing. But sekarang, we put another circuit. Nampak tak? Ada litar yang ketiga. Can you see there's a third circuit here? So, again, ada 3 litar. The 2 circuits just now, 1 litar di sini kan? This one is for the thermionic emission. Ini untuk pancaran thermion, betul tak? And then the second one is, yang kedua ialah di sini. No, tak ada. Dia tak berkaitan dengan topik-topik sebelumnya. Don't worry, it's not related to previous topic. You can still learn this topic walaupun awak tak belajar 4. Okay, so then we have the cathode anode here. Nampak tak? Okay. So ini macam tadilah. So we have one EHT here, satu VLT di sini. Alright. So dia dua ini, two of these two circuits will produce the cathode ray, right? Dua litar ini akan menghasilkan sinar cathode, betul tak? Ini kita sudah buat tadi, right? Okay. Apa pula peranan litar yang ketiga di sini? You see we have a third circuit here. Again, is connected to extra high tension power supply. Dia disambungkan kepada bekalan kuasa VLT. Setiap kali kita guna bekalan kuasa VLT, every time we use extra high tension power supply, very high voltage, dia bertujuan untuk, it is for strong electric field. Medan elektrik yang kuat. So, bahagian panjang ini positif. Okay, the short one is negative, correct or not? So, sini terminal negatif, sini terminal positif. Right? So, akan ada medan elektrik di sini, betul tak? There's electric field here, very strong electric field. Medan elektrik yang sangat kuat. Dan jika kita meletakkan cas dalam medan elektrik, okay, energy changes can. When we put a charge in an electric field, what will happen? Cas itu akan mengalami, the charge will experience a electric force, right? Daya elektrik, betul tak? Isn't it? Right? Ini kita sudah belajar dalam bab 3. We learned this in chapter 3. at the very beginning. Bila kita meletakkan cas dalam medan elektrik, dia akan mengalami daya. So now, sinar cathode ini terdiri daripada apa? This cathode ray is made up of what? Sinar cathode terdiri daripada apa tadi? What is it made of again? This ray that is coming out. High velocity electron, very good. Dia terdiri daripada elektron, betul tak? Right? It's made up of electrons, very good. Maksudnya dia ada charge lah. Kan? Got charge, isn't it? So, apabila dia melalui medan elektrik yang ini, when it passes through this electric field between the plates here, what will happen? Apa akan berlaku? What will happen? Dia akan tertarik kepada, it will of course be attracted to mana? The positive plate, very good. Dia akan tertarik kepada plate positive. That's right. That's right. That's exactly right. Faham tak? Understand or not? How it goes? Okay? So, apa yang berlaku kepada sinar ini? What will happen to the cathode ray? See, cathode ray, this ray, sinar ini terdiri daripada elektron. It's made of electron. That means sinar ini bercas negatif, betul tak? The ray is actually negatively charged, correct or not? Right? Jadi, negatif, since dia bercas negatif, sini ada medan elektrik yang kuat. Here between the two plates now, there's a very strong electric field. Medan elektrik yang sangat kuat. Jadi, what will happen? The electron, you see, sinar ini, dia terdiri daripada elektron, betul tak? It's made up of electrons, isn't it? Okay. So, apabila elektron lalu medan elektrik yang kuat ini, when the electrons pass through the strong electric field, what will happen? Sebab dia bercas negatif, because all of it is negatively charged, correct or not? Dia akan tertarik ke terminal positif. Faham tak? Faham tak? Because dia bercas negatif. Dia terdiri daripada elektron. It's made up of electrons, what? Can follow or not? Faham tak? Okay? So, dia akan tertarik kepada plate positif. Because dia bercas negatif. So, apa yang kita akan nampak ialah, what we will see is, okay, first of all, class, boleh tak kita nampak elektron? Can you see electrons? Boleh ke? Tak boleh lah. Mana kita boleh nampak elektron, right? If you can see electron, that means you got some superpower lah, betul tak? Kita tak boleh nampak elektron. So, therefore, untuk nampak sinar cathode ini, in order to see the cathode ray, which is made of electrons, yang terdiri daripada elektron, kalau kita nak nampak dia, we have to use a fluorescent screen. Screen pentafluor. Okay? Screen pentafluor. Right? No, it's not that the cathode and anode are negatively charged. This is a positive plate, right? This is a positive plate here. Yeah. And then, remember just now with the electrons that come out will form a ray, isn't it? An electron ray, right? Dia akan membentuk sinar elektron. So, the electrons will be attracted to the positive plate. Okay? Anode will donate the electron, then tertarik ke positive. Anode. Oh, okay, class. I understand your confusion. Okay, di sini, this anode dia lain sikit. You look at this anode. This anode dia lain sikit. Anode ini berbentuk cincin. Is in a ring form. Anode di sini berbentuk cincin. Can you see? Nampak tak? So, what will happen is, electron, dia takkan, the electrons here, it will not go back. Dia takkan balik ke terminal positif. Understand tak? Di sini dia berbentuk cincin. So, the cathode ray, sinar cathode ini akan terus melalui anode. It will travel through the ring. Does that make sense now? Faham tak? Jadi, dia takkan balik ke terminal positif di sini. Yeah. Okay or not? Does that clear it up? So, elektron, dia akan terus lalu dalam medan elektrik yang ini. The electrons will straight away go through the electric field here. Okay, can. Yeah. Because there's a hole in the middle. There's a hole in the middle, but there is a strong electric field. Ada medan elektrik yang kuat, tapi ada lubang di tengah. So dia boleh lalu lah. Of course, some will go back lah. Memang akan ada elektron yang balik ke terminal positif. But there will be some that goes straight out. Memang akan ada elektron yang terus keluar disebabkan oleh lubang di tengah because of the hole in the middle. Okay, good question. So again, we cannot see electrons, right? Kita tak boleh nampak elektron kan? So when we put a fluorescent grid there, bila kita letak screen PandaFluor, what will happen is, apabila elektron lalu di sini, when the electrons pass through here, kita akan nampak macam dia bersinar. It will look like it's shining. It will look like it's shining. Okay? So, that's how we see the electrons. Kita nampak elektron. Okay? Wait, the energy transfer is the last part. Later we do. Okay, the energy transfer is the last part. Okay, class. Can follow or not? Boleh tak? Okay, so the fluorescent grid is for us to see the cathode ray. Untuk kita nampak sinar cathode. Alright, because we cannot see electron lah. Okay, so then, alright, what will we see on the screen? Apa yang kita akan nampak pada screen ini? Now, I want you all to think. Kalau S1 saja tertutup, only S1 is on. S2 and S3 off. Okay, apa yang berlaku di sini? Let's think about what happens and what doesn't happen. Apa yang berlaku dan apa tidak berlaku. Okay, so apabila S1 ditutup, this one is close. What will happen? Apa akan berlaku? Name the process. Namakan proses yang berlaku di sini. What process occurs here? Pen warna biru ah. Okay, wait, let me try. Wait, saya guna pen warna hijau, okay? Okay, the electron passes through the screen. Electron akan melalui screen. Wait, let me show you later. Term ionic emission, okay, very good. So, kalau S1 dihidupkan, if S1 is turned on, term ionic emission will take place. That means electron akan dipancarkan. Electron will be released here. Okay. S2 is not on. S2 tak tertutup, terbuka. S2 is open. Jadi, apa yang takkan berlaku? What won't take place? Apa yang tidak akan berlaku? Okay, very good. The cathode ray will not form. Very good. Sinar cathode takkan terbentuk sebab kalau S2 tertutup, if S2 is not on, S2 terbuka, S2 is not on, that means EHT ini tidak boleh memecutkan elektron. The VLT tak boleh memecutkan elektron. The extra high tension cannot accelerate the electron. Correct or not? Faham tak? So, no cathode ray. Ada pancaran thermion, there is thermionic emission, but no cathode ray. So, apa yang kita nampak pada screen ini? What will we see on the screen? What will we see on the screen? Yes, very good. Nothing lah. Okay, nothing. Kita memang takkan nampak apa-apa. Faham tak? Okay, there's no cathode ray. Tak ada sinar cathode, tak ada apa yang lalu di sini. Clear? Okay, alright. Macam mana pula kalau, so nothing dia memang tak nampak apa-apa. Now, macam mana pula kalau S1 is on, S1 terbuka, tertutup, okay, S2 pun tertutup, S2 also on. Okay, so S1 tertutup, pancaran thermion berlaku. Thermionic emission happens, so elektron dibebaskan daripada permukaan. The electron is released from the surface of the hot metal, daripada logam panas kan. Okay, and then kalau S2 tertutup, if S2 is also on, this circuit is complete. Lita kedua ini lengkap dan we have the extra high tension power supply. Bekalan kuasa voltan lampau tinggi ini akan menghasilkan, it will produce what? It will produce what? What will happen? Kalau S2 tertutup, memang akan ada, there will be a cathode ray. Yes. Memang akan ada sinar cathode lah. There will be a cathode ray. Faham tak? So, sinar kathod akan lalu di sini. It will pass through the screen. Apa yang kita akan nampak? What will we see here? So, we will see. Okay, di sini cikgu kena guna pen merah. Because dia punya belakang dia hijau. Okay, this one, what will we see? We will see a garis lurus. Just a straight line. Macam ni lah. Understand or not? Faham tak? Okay. Pada screen kita akan dapat garis lurus. Because elektron dia akan bergerak. Yes, that's right. It will move in a straight line. Dia akan bergerak dalam garis lurus. Okay? Faham? Understand? Okay. Macam mana pula kalau semua tertutup? What if we close all the switch? But if all of it is on, semua pun tertutup. Semua pun hidup. So, kalau S1, S2 hidup, kita sudah tahu. We already know what happens. Ada pancaran thermion. Thermionic emission happens. Number two, cathode ray will form. Sinar cathode akan terbentuk. Right? But now, S3 ini untuk apa? The S3 is for which one? S3 is for the electric field here. Untuk medan elektrik di sini. Kan? So, if this is on, what happens? Apa yang akan berlaku? Yes, very good. So, sekarang elektron akan tertarik ke... Yes, dia akan tertarik ke plate positif. It will be attracted to the positive plate. So, apa yang kita akan nampak pada screen? What will we see on the screen? It will deflect up. Kita akan nampak dia like this. Okay, dia terpesong ke arah plate positif. That's right. Alright guys, faham tak? Okay. Setiap satu litar ada fungsi dia yang tersendiri. Each circuit has its own function. Huh? Alright. So now this same setup, susunan yang ini, excuse me, we have another one. Maltese cross. Palang Maltese. Palang Maltese. Okay, look here. For the Maltese cross tube, kita ada litar pertama, this one. This one is for what? We already know, isn't it? Ini untuk pancaran thermion, betul tak? This is for thermionic emission. Okay. Then the second one, yang kedua adalah untuk sinar cathode. The second one here is to form the cathode ray. Is the green color okay for your... Okay, so ini untuk menghasilkan sinar cathode, right? It will produce the cathode ray. Okay. So, kalau dua-dua tertutup, if both are closed, what will happen? Akan ada sinar cathode. But here, now, sinar cathode ini sekarang dihalang oleh, now it's blocked by a Maltese cross, palang Maltese. This shape, bentuk ini ialah palang Maltese. This shape is called Maltese cross. Okay? This shape is called Maltese cross. Okay, Okay, so now, you look at the first situation. Tengok situasi yang pertama. Right? Here, S1 is on. S1 tertutup. Tapi S2 terbuka. S2 is off. So, we already know what is going to happen, what is not going to happen. Kan? Daripada contoh sebelum ini, kita sudah tahu. Kalau S1 tertutup, S1 is on means, there will be, wait, I will explain in a while. There will be, akan ada, kalau S1 tertutup, akan ada pancaran thermion. Thermionic emission is there, correct? Tapi, kalau S2 off, S2 terbuka, tak ada, don't have what? Tak ada apa? Tak ada sinar cathode. Yes, there's no cathode ray. There is no cathode ray. Very good. Okay. So, nampak tak? Screen PandaFluor ini, the fluorescent screen, it will not fluoresce. It will not become have you seen the fluorescence? Dia nampak macam dia bersinar. It looks like it's shining, you know. Have you seen fluorescence? Okay. How to say? You know the bioluminescence also. I don't think you'll have seen before. Anyway, dia akan bersinar. It will shine. Yeah, it's like glow in the dark. Yes, that's right. That's right. Very good. Glow in the dark. Dia macam tu. Okay. But Uh, okay, so what is happening? Okay, sorry, guys. Class, don't turn on your videos, don't turn on your videos. Okay, I want to protect your privacy. Jangan buka video. Huh? Okay, anyway. Okay, yeah. So this one here, what will happen is, can you see dia bukan warna hijau kan? It's not green color, isn't it? That means there's no fluorescence. Maksudnya tak ada elektron, no electron. Sebab fluorescence will only occur, okay, screen pentaflow ini dia hanya akan dia macam bersinar kalau ada elektron. Only if got electron. Okay? But remember I told you just now, ingat tak tadi, ini adalah filament tungsten. It's a tungsten filament, isn't it? So kalau litak ini hidup, akan ada apa lagi? What else will be there? What else will be there? Kalau ada, kalau litak ini hidup, memang takkan ada sinar cathode. There's no cathode ray. But got heat. Okay, very good. Yes, got heat. What else? It's a tungsten filament. Filament tungsten. Yes, ada cahaya. There is light. There is light. Very good. Okay, ada cahaya tungsten kan? Remember I told you in the beginning? Ingat tak? Cikgu bagi tahu awal tadi. Right? Ada cahaya. Okay? So the light from the tungsten filament will still reach the screen. So kita akan nampak ada cahaya lah pada screen. There's light on the screen. Understand or not? Yang itu kita boleh nampak. That's why you see dia bukan warna hijau. That's the difference lah. Itulah beza dia. So kita akan nampak putih lah. Ataupun tungsten will be yellowish lah. Okay. Alright. Yeah, tertutup is on. Tertutup means the switch is closed. Closed switch means on. Tutup maksudnya hidup, right? Because open is off, right? The switch is open means it's off. The circuit is not complete. Correct or not? Okay? All right. Okay, so here we can only see light lah. Then cahaya bergerak. How does light move? Cahaya bergerak secara lurus kan? Light moves. How? Light moves in a straight line. Light travels in a straight line. Jadi, apabila dia dihalang oleh palang Maltese, when it is blocked by the Maltese cross, what will happen is, kita akan nampak bayang dia. We will see the shadow in a shape of the Maltese cross. Faham tak? Understand or not? So, ini kita nampak bayang dia. By the way, class, you must know dari mana kita nampak ini tahu. You must know where we are looking from. Please draw this. Lukis ini pada nota yang cikgu bagi, lukis. Kita sedang memerhati dari sini. We are observing from here. Dari sebelah sini. Okay. We are observing from this side. So, semua pemerhatian yang awak nampak itu kita nampak dari sini. We are looking from here. Kan? So, apabila S1 hidup, S1 is on, then we will see a shadow here. Kita akan nampak bayang palang Maltese di sini. Lepas tu, dia cerah sebab cahaya lah. Because of the light from the tungsten. Kan? Okay. What happens, all right? Why do we need the cross when we just looking at the color? Okay. The Maltese cross is to show you that, okay, wait, later. You will understand at the end. So, di sini, right? What happens when S1, S2 on? Dua-dua pun hidup. What happened? It's a very good question, by the way. What happened kalau dua-dua hidup? So, when both are on, right? When both are on, got thermionic emission, ada pancaran thermion, memang ada cahaya, there is light. But at the same time, since S2 hidup, now we have sinar cathode ray, right? Correct? Okay. So what will we see on the screen? Apa yang kita akan nampak pada screen? What do we see on the screen? The screen, kita akan nampak, we will see the fluorescence lah. Sekarang screen PandaFlow akan bersinar. It will be shining. There will be fluorescence. Ini tandanya ada elektron, got electrons. But, this is the point. This is the point. Inilah kenapanya ada palang Maltese. This is why we have the Maltese cross. But, kita masih akan nampak bayang dia. We will still see the shadow of the Maltese cross. So, ini menunjukkan apa? What does this show? Kenapa kita boleh nampak bayang palang Maltese di sini? Why can we see the shape of the Maltese cross here? Di sini? Because light travels in a straight line. Right? Yes, very good. Because cahaya bergerak secara lurus. Tapi, bila S2 hidup, ada sinar cathode. When the cathode ray is there, we still can see the shadow. Kita masih boleh nampak palang Maltese, bayang dia. Okay, very good. Number one, memang elektron tak boleh melepasi palang lah because logam. Electron cannot pass through the metal, number one. Number two, electron move in a straight line. Sinar cathode ini pun bergerak pada dalam secara lurus. Understand or not? Yes. Yes, if there's fluorescence, there's electron. Okay? Can. So that's why we have the Maltese cross. Untuk menunjukkan yang sinar cathode pun dia bergerak secara lurus. This is to prove that cathode ray also moves in a straight line. Kan Okay. So, the fluorescent effect, kesan fluorescent yang kita boleh nampak pada skrin ini ada peranan dia juga. This shows that electrons have kinetic energy and momentum. Ini menunjukkan yang elektron ada tenaga kinetik dan momentum. Okay? But I'm not going to go into that now because as I said, this is a crash course. Okay? Yang itu nantilah, that one later when you all learn properly, you all learn. Okay, now look at the third one. Tengok di sini apa yang berlaku di sini. What happens here? What happens apabila kita letak magnet? When you put a magnet here. This is 5.1. Apabila kita letak magnet di sini, what happens? Apa yang berlaku? Okay. Bila kita letak magnet di sini, when you put magnet here, kita akan nampak bayang yang dihasilkan oleh cahaya, the shadow that is caused by the light is in the same position. Dia kekal pada kedudukan yang sama. Right? Yes, green color means there's fluorescence lah. The green color represents the fluorescence. Okay? Lepas ni kelas, you please go on YouTube. Fluorescence. Fluorescent effect. Kesan panda floor. Cuba YouTube. Cari dalam YouTube. Tengok. You see for yourself what it looks like. Okay? Awak cuba tengok sendiri. Okay. So, okay. But, bayang yang dihasilkan oleh sinar cathode, can you see the shadow that is formed by the cathode ray is moving? Dia bergerak. Nampak tak? Dia bergerak. What's happening here? Kenapa dia boleh bergerak? How come it can move? Okay. So di sini bila kita letak magnet di sini kelas, when we put magnet here, what are we doing? Apa yang kita buat? Elektron, okay, good try, but elektron tak boleh tertarik. Elektron hanya tertarik kepada terminal positive terminal, isn't it? Di sini kita letak magnet. Magnet menghasilkan medan magnet, bukan medan elektrik. It doesn't produce an electric field, isn't it? It's a magnetic field. Right? Yes. Okay. This one awak perlukan ilmu daripada bab 4. This one you need your chapter 4 knowledge. Okay? Can you tell me apa yang berlaku? What happens when current flows in the conductor? Apabila arus mengalir dalam konduktor, apa yang berlaku kelas? Apa yang terbentuk? What will form when current flows in a conductor? Electric field? No. The electric field, good try. But the electric field is the one that causes the current to flow. Medan elektrik yang menyebabkan arus mengalir. No. My question is, apabila arus mengalir dalam konduktor, apa akan terbentuk? What will form? Magnetic field. Very good. Medan magnet. Okay, very good. So, do you remember how the magnetic field is? Dia berbentuk bulat. It's radial. So this one guys, bagi siapa yang dah belajar bab 4 baru awak akan faham lah. Okay, so since this is a crash course, alright, I just teach you very briefly. So akan ada medan elektrik, medan magnet yang terbentuk di sini. Yes. So, apabila kita meletakkan magnet yang lain, when you put another magnet here, okay, bahagian utara di dalam, north is inside, you know. Okay, so let's say I just put another magnetic field here, medan magnet di sini. Medan magnet di sini, north to south, utara ke selatan. So, akan ada interaksi antara dua medan magnet. There will be an interaction between the two magnetic fields. And there will be a magnetic force. Akan ada daya magnet. Okay? Alright? So, again, if sinar kathod boleh dipesongkan oleh medan elektrik, yes, betul. Dia boleh dipesongkan oleh medan elektrik dan dia boleh dipesongkan oleh medan magnet. It can also be deflected by magnetic field. So this is how it works. Okay, I won't go into too much detail here sebab ini cikgu kena ajar bab 4. I have teach you chapter 4 for that. But here we use your left hand. Guna tangan kiri. Okay, buat bentuk ini. Do this shape. This is called left hand Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, hukum tangan kiri Fleming. Those who already learn chapter 4, you know what I'm saying. Bab 4. Siapa yang belum belajar lagi tak apa, it's okay. I just teach you now. So, tangan kiri ini, follow this, follow, So, your middle finger, jari tengah ini adalah arus. Arus, okay? Di sini, sinar cathode lalu di sini. The cathode rays flowing here, isn't it? Right? Where is the direction of current, class? Mana arah arus pula? Where is current? Kalau sinar cathode ke kanan, mana arus? Yes, very good. Arus ialah pergerakan elektron, kan? It's the movement of electron, isn't it? Elektron, arah pergerakan elektron terbalik kepada arus. It's opposite to current, correct or not? Arus elektrik bergerak dari terminal positif ke negatif. Electric current moves from positive terminal to negative terminal. Tetapi elektron bergerak dari negatif ke positif. Elektron moves from negative to positive, correct or not? Okay? Arus sentiasa bergerak dari positif ke negatif. So, kalau elektron di sini bergerak ke kanan, if the electron is moving to the right, then arus bergerak ke mana? Current is left. Faham? Faham? It's always opposite. Terbalik. Elektron dengan arus terbalik. Elektron bergerak ke kanan, arus bergerak ke kiri. Electron move to the right, current move to the left. Understand? Faham? Okay? Alright. So, left hand rule, jari tengah ialah arus. The middle finger is current. Okay. So, current is dalam rajah ini, in this diagram now, dalam rajah ini arus ialah kiri. Current is left. Okay. And then, tengok medan magnet. Look at the magnetic field. Where is the direction of the magnetic field? Manakah arah medan magnet? So, nampak tak? Sini selatan, kutub selatan. This is the south pole of the magnet. That means the north pole is here. Utara di sini. Understand? So, arah medan magnet keluar dari utara. Out from the north. Masuk ke dalam selatan. Goes into the south. North to south. Utara ke selatan. Macam medan elektrik dari positif ke negatif, kan? Electric field is positive to negative, correct? Medan magnet utara ke selatan. Can follow? So, medan magnet sini. B. Okay? Now, use your Fleming's left hand rule. Betul tangan kiri Fleming. Okay? Your jari telunjuk, your index finger, this is B. So, macam ni. Right? Okay, your index finger. So, jari telunjuk kita, dia menjauhi kita, away from you lah. Okay, jari tengah pula di sini. Put your middle finger here. Like that. Can see ya? Nampak tak? Nampak tak? Jari tengah ke arah kiri. Put your middle finger towards the left. Jari telunjuk, your index finger away from you. Menjauhi awak. Can you see? Nampak tak cara saya letak tangan saya? Can see? Okay? Yes, utara ke selatan. Not to south. Okay. Now, nampak tak mana ibu jari? Can you see where is your thumb? Not to south, not to south. This one must go north to south. So your jari telunjuk away. Yes. You see your thumb? Nampak tak ibu jari? Bawah. Ibu jari mewakili. The thumb represents daya, force. Daya. Okay. So, disebabkan oleh interaksi antara dua medan magnet. Because of the interaction between the two magnetic fields, there is a magnetic force. There is a what we call actually a catapult force lah. Okay. So, ada daya lastik. Daripada medan lastik, ada daya magnet lah actually. So, from the catapult field, there is a magnetic force. So, what will happen is, elektron akan bergerak ke bawah. Bukan. Jari telunjuk ialah medan magnet dari utara ke selatan. Jari tengah ialah arus. Middle finger is current. Okay. So it is like this. Tangan macam ni lah. So this is FBI. Okay. Ibu jari ialah daya. This is force. Jari telunjuk ialah this is medan magnet. Magnetic field. And then I ialah arus lah. Jari tengah ialah arus. No, not to south. Magnetic field is not to south. Not to south. Utara ke selatan. That's why you see when we draw a magnet class, bila kita lukis magnet, okay, let's say ini utara, ini selatan, how to draw the field lines. Macam mana kita lukis garis medan dia. Dia keluar dari utara, it comes out of the north, then dia masuk selatan. Right? And then we will draw north to south like this. Betul tak? Correct or not? Correct or not? Betul tak? Right? Remember or not? Okay? So it's not to south. So dari sini, dari hujung ini hujung utara. The north side is inside. Yeah, north to south is constant, yes. Not to south, not south to north, not to south is constant, yes. Dia takkan berubah. Yeah, so current will be the opposite direction as the electron rays. Sebab sinar elektron adalah pergerakan elektron. The rays are the movement of electron. Current is the opposite direction. Okay? Can? Okay? Can Okay. So, that's why dia akan terpesong. That is why the shadow will be deflected down. Understand or not? Because the cathode rays are moving down. Sinar cathode ini terpesong ke bawah disebabkan oleh interaksi dengan medan magnet. Because of the interaction with the magnetic field. Can? Boleh? Yes. Yes, it depends on direction of force. So, kalau kita songsangkan magnet, contohnya, if you invert the magnet, kalau selatan dekat arah dalam pula, if the south is inside, then daya dia terbalik. The force will be opposite. Dia akan terpesong ke atas. It will be deflected upwards. Okay? Boleh? Can? Okay. Now, look at this calculation. So, di sini, this is a simulation of just now. Ini adalah tube sinar cathode. It's a cathode ray tube. Okay, ini adalah tube sinar cathode. So, here is the same thing. Sama macam tadi, we have the extra high tension power supply, bekalan kuasa VLT. So, sekarang cikgu akan terangkan tentang tenaga dia, perubahan tenaga. Now, I'm going to explain about the energy changes. So, what happens is, di sini, Disebabkan oleh voltan lampau tinggi, because of the extra high tension, we have potential difference, beza keupayaan, right? Ini terminal negatif, negatif terminal, positif terminal, there is a potential difference, ada beza keupayaan. Dan sekiranya ada beza keupayaan, if there is a potential difference, there is a electric potential energy, tenaga keupayaan elektrik. Okay, there is electric potential energy. So, jika kita meletakkan charge di sini, when you put a charge here, this electric potential energy, tenaga keupayaan elektrik yang disebabkan oleh VLT because of the extra high tension voltage, this electric potential energy akan ditukarkan kepada, it will be transferred as kinetic energy, tenaga kinetik. Does that make sense? Faham tak? Simple, isn't it? Electric potential energy, jika kita letakkan elektron di sini, if you put electron here, dia akan dipindahkan kepada tenaga kinetik. It will be transferred as kinetic energy of the electron. Boleh? Okay. So, that's what's going to happen here. Right? So, di sini kelas, apakah tenaga keupayaan elektrik? What is the electric potential energy? Apakah rumus bagi dia? So, electric potential energy is EV. Yes, that's right. Betul. Very good. Tadi ialah tenaga haba kepada tenaga kinetik. Now is electric potential energy to kinetic energy. That's right. Okay. So here, di sini, macam mana kita dapat rumus ini? How do we get this formula? Because actually, daripada bab 3 from chapter 3, we already learned V adalah E per Q. Remember this? Ingat tak rumus ini? V is energy per unit charge. Tenaga per unit charge. Jadi kalau kita susun semula, energy is QV. Right? E ialah QV, betul tak? Tapi di sini, ini adalah tenaga keupayaan elektrik. This is the electric potential energy of an electron. Bagi satu elektron. So that's why Q ini kita tukar kepada E huruf kecil. We change to a small e. So apa yang diwakili oleh semua huruf ini? What is represented by all these letters? E huruf besar, of course, is the electric potential energy lah. Ini adalah tenaga keupayaan elektrik. Okay. Small e, E huruf kecil adalah charge bagi satu elektron. The charge of one electron. That's why kita guna E huruf kecil. Because here we are only looking at the potential electric potential energy of a single electron. Satu elektron. Kan? And what is V? Apakah V? V is the potential difference, beza keupayaan between the cathode and the anode. Antara cathode dan anode. Okay? Boleh? So beza keupayaan dia akan sama dengan beza keupayaan bekalan kuasa lah. It will be the same as the potential difference of the power supply. Okay? It will be the same. Memang nilai dia sama. At our level, we're not going to add anything else. Kita tak tambah apa-apa lagi kepada lita. It will be the same thing. So again, kena ada vacuum lah. Supaya elektron akan sampai ke anode. So that the electron will reach the anode. Kan? Okay. Now we use principle of conservation of energy. Prinsip keabadian tenaga. Right? Now we use principle of conservation of energy. So apakah rumus yang menghubungkan that relates electric potential energy, tenaga keupayaan elektrik dengan halaju maksimum, maximum velocity. So what is the conservation here? Semua tenaga keupayaan elektrik, all the electric potential energy is converted to, ditukarkan kepada tenaga kinetik. Okay, so EK is EV. EE lah, electric potential energy, tenaga keupayaan elektrik. Alright. Okay, let's write the formula. So, tenaga kinetik, this one awak belajar tingkatan 3, your form 3. Remember or not? 1/2, 1/2 MV kuasa 2. Kan? 1/2 MV square. 1/2 MV square sama dengan electric potential energy kita baru dapat di sini. EV. Okay? Okay. This is the relationship lah. Dan ini kita akan gunakan rumus ini untuk menghitung tenaga kinetik maksimum. So we call it maximum kinetic energy. Kita panggil dia tenaga kinetik maksimum. Let's change it to Vmax. Why? Ini adalah sekiranya semua tenaga keupayaan elektrik ditukar kepada tenaga kinetik tanpa pembezaan. Okay, so why we call it Vmax is jika semua tenaga keupayaan elektrik ditukar kepada tenaga kinetik, even if we assume there's no loss of energy, kita anggap yang tak ada kehilangan tenaga, the velocity, halaju dia, ini bukan halaju seragam, betul tak? It's not constant velocity. It's not uniform velocity. It is being accelerated. Dia sedang memecut, betul tak? Right? It's being accelerated. Jadi, halaju dia di sini tak sama dengan, it's not the same as the velocity here. It's not the same as the velocity here. Tak sama dengan halaju ini. Faham tak? That's why we have to take the maximum. Kita kena ambil Vmax. Sebab kita anggap yang seluruh tenaga keupayaan elektrik sudah ditukar kepada tenaga kinetik. We assume that the entire electric potential energy has been converted to kinetic energy. Because of this lah. Kalau semua ditukar kepada tenaga kinetik, that means halaju dia memang sudah maksimum. Tak boleh tambah lagi. Understand or not? Okay? It's already accelerated to the maximum velocity. Dia sudah dipecutkan kepada halaju maksimum. Kan? Boleh? Okay? So, cikgu ada... okay, so let's write this down. So, E here... Sekali lagi, E huruf kecil ini adalah charge electron. It's a charge of electron. Right? Charge of electron. Charge satu electron. Okay, V is the potential difference lah. Beza keupayaan antara cathode dan anode. Okay, in the ELT, EHT, VLT. Okay, M ialah apa? Remember, we are still talking about one electron. Satu elektron kan? Tenaga kinetik satu elektron. Right? Because sebelum ini adalah tenaga keupayaan elektrik satu elektron. This is the electric potential energy of one electron. So, kita masih menggunakan elektron yang sama. We are still using the same electron. Right? So, M here is the mass of electron. Ini akan diberikan. Jangan risau. This will be given to you. Baik. Gsam electron akan diberikan, charge electron akan diberikan. Mass of electron and charge of electron will be given to you. Yes, betul. Yes, betul. That's right. Okay. Okay, what is Vmax? Maximum velocity lah. Halaju maximum electron. Okay. So, inilah semua yang dia akan tanya dalam 5.1. This is everything that they will ask in 5.1. Inilah dia. Ken? Faham tak kelas? Are we okay? Boleh? Nanti pergi baca balik. Go and read back the notes. Tengoklah. Go through the notes again. Okay. As I said, ini adalah crash course. This is a crash course. Okay. So, that's all for 5.1.